Have you ever questioned where we belong? Do we belong to Earth, nation, or family? I trust this is a question asked by millions of people around the world. You see, the problem with the sense of belonging is that it's only a concept. You cannot see it or touch it. You can only feel it. The sense of belonging is the feeling of security and support when there's a sense of acceptance, inclusion, and identity to be a member of a certain group. Moreover, the sense of belonging towards a certain group or place makes us identify as a member of that certain group from a certain place. The discovery path of my identity was challenging, full of concerns over my nationality, talents, and the people around me. I hope my experience can shed some light on this common issue shared by all people. Personally, I'm from a European country, Croatia, and the land we're standing on, China. Despite the disadvantages of not looking like any particular race, there are many perks to being mixed blood. First and foremost, I get to experience very different cultures. When other 6-month-old babies are still sucking their thumb, I was on regular flights to and back the other half of the globe. As a child, I ate cheese and dumplings for breakfast and prosciutto and rice for lunch. These different experiences shape my identity as an international citizen. For example, I am not patriotic at all. Which country can I be patriotic to? Being an international citizen didn't grant me any sense of belonging. I couldn't join the military like my older local friends. I couldn't be a member of a government even if I wanted to. I could vote, but is it fair for someone living in one country to meddle with the politics of another? Since I was small, a question always hung in the air. Who am I? Where do I belong? I have attended to school in China all my life, therefore my answer was China for a very long time. Until I realized that local people didn't go to international schools. This finding drove me into a deeper swirl of identity confusion. When I was 12, I fell into what I now call the mist era. My identity confusion built up day by day during the pandemic. Every day I wondered 3 things. 1, who am I? 2, what's my purpose in this world? And 3, why do I have acne? During those 6 months stuck in my grandmother's house, these 3 questions ranted on like repetitive radio that sang the same songs every single day. One day, I had enough of it. I decided to discover different areas of interest that might help me to find where I belong to in society. I started by drawing every single object in my house. The lack of artistic skills deemed my failure. Then I started to write. I wrote a script for a comic about an optimistic dog that had many misfortunes in life. The lack of consistency marked the end of that. After all that failing at finding out what I'm good at, I recognized 2 possibilities out of the result. Either that hobbies and skills can't define where I belong in society, or that I'm a complete failure. These conclusions led me on in life. I gave up all attempts at art and continued my exploration. Following the mist era, I returned to school. I have gained 20 kilos and a full surface area of acne. This heavily affected my social interactions. My loud personality has suddenly gone mute. My stance was awkward. I was unable to mix in my community. At the time, my sense of belonging towards the school had completely vanished. Everything was strange. Everyone was strange. My personality has turned from the previous friendly to the present grumpy. In summary, my life was in crisis. This situation lasted until my realization that I'll never fit into the mold of who I want to be if I don't think I can be. Upon the sudden clearance, my way of life changed completely. I started to work hard at school, paying attention to every class. I started to do regular exercise, running every night. I started to speak, trying to socialize with all my classmates. My identity has turned 180 degrees once again. Only now I'm deliberately doing so. The mist has cleared, the goal is evident, but the exploration continues. For me, the sense of belonging is no longer a concept impossible to reach. It's simply a dish I had never tasted, a picture I'd never seen, an emotion never felt. It's always available, but simply out of reach. In my struggles of identity from the cultural, personal, and social perspectives, understanding of my identity improves. As it changes my perception of the sense of belonging, understanding of myself improves day by day, week by week, gradually molding myself into my favorite self, reaching out to the emotion never felt. All in all, I like to tell everyone that is in an identity crisis that you are not alone. Everybody experiences a lack of sense of belonging at some point in life, some even lasting throughout a lifetime. Though the lack of sense of belonging can cause exclusion of one from a particular group at a particular time, it can also drive us on the path of self-improvement and further identity establishment. I hope everyone had something to take away today.